Good day, everybody. This is Lone Eagle 112358. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it so very much. I really do. Today we're going to talk about Governor's Island here. Let's get this going. Governor's Island. Boom. Does this look familiar to you at all? I mean, listen. Every time a channel puts out a Mandela, I'm hoping that by now each channel expects like at least a 50-50 that I've seen it before, and oh wow, no, I've never seen this before. So when I ask that question, of course I'm going to get some people saying yes, I've been there, and I agree, because I'm going to show you home videos of this island, people walking around, and obviously this is a thing, not for me. Okay, so this is Governor's Island, and look where it is. Boom, right across from Manhattan, and all between Manhattan and Brooklyn, I'd say. Never seen it before. The amount of times I've been to Google Earth, New York City, Ground Zero, over the last 10 years is just, you can't count it. This would have stood out. I would have been all over this island before in the past. I would have been like, wow, look at this star fort here. Yeah, and I know Scarab is all over, star forts. He should put out a real cool video on that, concerning that stuff. Very interested in it, but there's star forts all over the world now. Here's another one. Okay, this is built between colonial times and Civil War. I get really confused between those times, but around then, you guys know what I'm talking about. But look at this. This is just great. I mean, I've never seen this before. All right, so I'm gonna play a video now that I downloaded some home videos from YouTube, strung them together, because I'm going to read to you this right here. Boom. You see that? I'm going to read that to you while the video plays, just so you could get, well, I want you to watch the video so you can see that A, this is a real thing, and B, you get a closer up look, like actual footage. So here we go. And mind my reading, I'm a very slow reader. So Governor's Island is a 172-acre island in New York Harbor, approximately 800 yards from the southern tip of Manhattan Island, separated from Brooklyn by Buttermilk Channel. That's another thing, I never heard of Buttermilk Channel, but I'm not from there. Approximately 400 yards from the Buttermilk. It is part of the borough of Manhattan in New York City. The National Park Service administers a small portion of the north of the island as the Governor's Island National Monument, while the Trust Governor's Island operates the remaining 150 acres, including 52 historic buildings. Today, Governor's Island is a popular seasonal destination open to the public between May and September. That would make sense for horticulture, as you can see in the picture here. There's a lot of that going on. Great stuff, by the way. I love seeing those chickens. Between May and September, with a 43-acre public park completed between 2012 and 2016. I'm telling you, I would have seen that. Free arts and cultural events and recreational activities. See, that's exactly what you're seeing. The island is accessed by ferries from Brooklyn and Manhattan. It was named Pagant, which is quote-unquote Nut Island, likely after the island's plentiful hickory, oak, and chestnut trees. I'm just skimming through the paragraphs. Just give me a moment here. The island's current name, made official in 1784, stems from the British colonial area, when the Colonial Assembly reserved the island for the exclusive use of New York's royal governors. In 1776, during the American Revolutionary War, Continental Army troops raised defense works on the island, which they used to fire upon British ships before they were taken. From 1783 to 1966, the island was a United States Army post, and later from 1966 to 1996, the island served as a major United States Coast Guard installation. About 103 acres of fill was added to the island by 1912, when they were making the subway, making it a total of 172 acres. So I'm just going to skim through the rest. I'm not going to read. It's a very long. Here, I'll just show you guys how long this article is. obviously I'm not going to be able to read this all to you. I'll just skim through some more and I'll just cherry pick. Here, enjoy the video. Let's see here. So in 1524, Giovanni Verrazzano saw the then called Pagant Island, remember what it was named after, all the nuts, becoming the first European to record to do so. So Giovanni de Verrazzano, that makes a lot of sense because here I'm going to show you on Google Earth. This is why a lot of people, and to this day, and I agree, that this bridge right here did not exist on old Earth, or where we're from. I'm from, you're from, whatever. It was not there. It was just straight into the harbor, straight to Ellis Island, where the Statue of Liberty was, and immigration process, and boom, right to downtown. Now there's a bridge, and it makes sense. And this bridge's name is Verrazzano, and just right here, like I'm showing you, boom. In 1524, Giovanni de Verrazzano. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but you get what I'm saying. All right, let's get back to this. So he, he was the first European in record to do so. What did he do? Oh, he called it Pagant, which is nuts. Nut Island. All right. So, the American Revolution. After the beginning of the American Revolutionary War, in one night, April 9th, 1776, Continental Army General Israel Putnam fortified the island where earthworks and 40 cannons in anticipation of the return of the British Army and Navy who had quit New York City the year before. The harbor defenses on the island continued to improve over the summer, and in July 12, 1776, engaged HMS Phoenix and HMS Rose as they made a run up the Hudson River to the Tappan Zee. The colonists' cannon inflicted enough damage to make the British commanders cautious of entering the East River, which later contributed to the success of George Washington's retreat across from Brooklyn into Manhattan after the Battle of Long Island, also known as the Battle of Brooklyn. The British Army effort to take Brooklyn Heights overlooking Manhattan, and the largest battle of the entire war. I'm only reading this because I have a feeling that something, like I'm only going through this whole, like this part of history right here, like I'm not going to read the remainder. Like I said, there's so much, you guys should look into it, because I have a feeling, because this island is brand new to me anyway, that there's going to be a lot of new history. And when I saw the fort, I was like, oh my God, there's going to be a new type of war history. Like what I just read, what I'm thinking is that maybe some of you who really know your history in war, like Civil War, the Revolution, the American Revolutionary War, everything, you're going to be like, wait, what did he just say? Did he just say blah, blah, blah? That's impossible. And and that's why I'm reading this part. So, I mean, there's a lot of history on war on this on this island. I mean, look at the video. You guys saw the cannon, the fortified fort. You know what I mean? So it's got some history. George Washington, man, this is incredible stuff. I've never seen this. And all these hills you see, this is a project that they just did, okay? They just built these hills. They mounded them up like this. They're mound builders. They stacked them up with, like, it was really cool. I watched a small documentary on it. And I suggest you guys go do the same. It's pretty cool, but they pretty much made the island so that it could never be affected by the tides, so that's why and they wanted a 360 panoramic view. So they built these really high hills. There's no driving any vehicles. You can't drive gas-powered vehicles. I think only the caretakers can, but you can only ride bikes here. This right here they built so you could walk up it. It's just really cool. Like a whole bunch of, obviously, engineers put that together. There's ways, different ways up and down these hills. You can see people on the bikes here. It's a green space development. They're trying, and they're going to develop buildings here soon, and I believe for residential or commercial, I'm not sure. Guys, like, look at this. It's none of this matches with the Statue of Liberty, the skyline of Manhattan, Brooklyn, Brooklyn Bridge. Like, even all this footage, I've never even heard of a project being put together like this before. And again, not from here, so of course. And if you're from here and you're like, yeah, my sister-in-law is involved, great, tell us more, please. If you are familiar with Governor's Island, share your experiences in the comment section below. But this is incredible. You know, let me scroll back here. Yeah, look at this. I mean, I'm going to pause here. Does this resonate with you at all? At all? Okay? For those of you who are like scratching your heads now going, yeah, wait a second. This doesn't resonate at all. I don't remember ever seeing a shot like this. I'm having the same problem with this that I did have with the Brooklyn Bridge. Let me show you guys. I put out a video on Brooklyn Bridge and the Verizon building. I'm like, what is going on? I've never seen, because like I was showing pictures of 9/11 of the two buildings, and I'm like, have you guys ever seen like the buildings like 9/11 and with the Brooklyn Bridge at this angle? Go take a look at the video, and a lot of people are agreeing. And it's not just that, it's this building right here, Verizon. Brooklyn Bridge is in the wrong spot. I gave a suggestion to where it might have belonged, and I said around here, give or take, okay, in this area, not over here, not at that angle. But I'm having the same problem with Brooklyn Bridge that I'm having right here now with Governor's Island. I just don't recognize any of these features, especially this right here. You know what I mean? This building. I'm going to be making a follow-up video. I don't want to make these videos long. If I was to do each building and, you know, the history, I'd be here for an hour talking about it. I don't want to make this video an hour. But even the entrance, like, look at this. You guys saw the video. This doesn't ring any bells with me. It's not, my muscle memory is not working with this one. Same with this building, just sitting out on its own. Is that an octagon? Yeah, I believe that's an octagon. Whatever. One of those gons. Be gone. Would you be gone? Yeah, just it stands out. Look at that. All right, guys. So I don't know. Not much else to say. I'm gonna keep repeating myself. Here, let's take a look at Wikipedia. Show you guys what I was reading. I read this part 2. There's still much more. Late 18th century, 19th century. Just there's too much. It's too much. What are we at? 12 minutes, at 15-minute mark. I mean, I don't want to make these videos too long. I just gave you a brief introduction into Governor's Island. Incredible. And something else I want to show you, with concerning this, is like, obviously when America was being first discovered by the Europeans, I mean, because it was already discovered, but when they first discovered it, you know, when they finally joined the party, of course there's going to be a lot happening here when it comes to war. You know what I mean? I want to show you guys some other things. That's going to be a segue to my next video. Now, my claim is that right here, Manhattan, where Manhattan is, it should be right over here more, because when everybody was migrating to America, they went through here, which is why I still say this bridge was not there before, which makes a lot of sense now because it's named after Verrazano, and Verrazano was the first dude to name this. When the migrants came in, they came in right into the harbor, and boom, right to the Statue of Liberty immediately, and then boom, right to Manhattan. Okay? I know I drew that wrong, but whatever. Everything's messed up. I'd have to change everything for me to draw this properly. So, but you guys get what I'm saying. But now you've got this inlet, right? And now they have to come in, go way over here, and then boom. And I know that's not far when you think of like distances when you're looking at the map like this. But that's far when you're really used to see Manhattan where I claimed it used to be, you know? right here. To me, I'm like, wow, they really have to go in. So what happens now? So that's going to change war. That's going to change all the battles. That's going to change everything, because this is the money spot now. You can consider this. Here, you know what? Look at this. I just saw this. Let's pretend this is Africa, right? This is Spain. And this is the Rock of Gibraltar. Okay? I'm probably saying that wrong too. That's basically what that was. And in order to take this, let's pretend this is the Mediterranean Sea. In order to take this and get inland, like to take any of this, you had to own this harbor. Okay, I'm going to assume that's how war works. You guys could totally correct me. But this is how the Rock of Gibraltar worked. Okay? Whoever owned this pretty much controlled what was happening here, and then that affected everything else. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Now, what do you think? Governor's Island is the only spot that they're going to fortify? Nope. Check this out. Battery Park. I did not know the history on Battery Park. I always heard of it, but I didn't know why they called it Battery Park. I didn't know this was here. I never really zoomed in, and it's sticking out like a sore thumb. It's weird how the tip of Manhattan has changed a lot, you know what I'm saying? But this is another video. But I remember there being a park, but it was more on this side, and this was all buildings. Okay, it was more to the left here, and depending on the way you're looking at it, if you're looking at my way, it's more to the left. And it was integrated with the buildings and everything, but it wasn't like this. Okay, I do agree that Battery Park existed. That's why I don't totally deny 100% Governor's Island. I just think maybe Governor's Island was like a really small island like that to the side and really wasn't noticeable. I don't deny it 100%. I just deny this 100% the size. But look, they were firing cannons on each other from this. I was reading up on one of those videos, actually. The one guy was talking in there. He was a tourist. He was talking about how they would exchange freaking cannon firing. I'm like, what? And I was like, a Battery Park? I didn't know Battery Park was a fort. But I'm not saying that's a Mandela. I didn't know. And I learned something new. And I was like, cool, I didn't know that. But then here's another one. Right? Ellis Island is a fort. Retired fort. And look, I'm like, oh, that makes sense. This circle and all this stuff. It's like they probably had cannons here at one point. That explains why they built Liberty Statue over here. Because this was a fort. I don't remember being a fort in our old times, but again, I'm not messing around with that. I'm not calling that a Mandela either. It's curious, you know, because look, the Statue of Liberty is on a fort, a star fort, I should say. You know, I'm scared Performance was covering that shit. I hope he makes another video and does a follow-up on that. I'd like to see that. But there's this fort right there, star fort, and then we got this fort right here. Boom. Whatever, man. Whatever. But what I'm saying is none of this is resonating with me. So, like, of these three forts that I just showed you, this one is probably the one that I would say 100% doesn't resonate with me. These other two are just pure ignorance. But I remember Battery Park, and I do remember Ellis Island. I just didn't know Ellis Island was a fort. Let's go on down here. Look at this. And I'm going to end the video here. But look, boom, I didn't know there was another fort over here. Okay? That makes sense. Okay, I'm going to do a follow-up video on this on the next one. But Fort Wadsworth. Wadsworth. And then right across, Fort Hamilton. I'm not messing with you guys. You Army guys listening to this, I'm not messing with you. I agree this is here. I'm not saying this didn't exist for you. I'm just saying, wow, I did not know these were there. And it makes a lot of sense now with the landscape. Even on old Earth, it would make a lot of sense. Manhattan right here, Statue of Liberty here. And then you got these forts, maybe these three forts, you know what I mean? Protecting all this. You got to have forts at the entrance, right? So just throwing that out there. I didn't know these were there. I'm not calling these Mandelas, but look, you can see the fort design. Boom, there's the star fort. It's incredible. I didn't know these were here. But what they do, though, is kind of solidify why Governor's Island is here. And that brings us to a new history. It gives us new information. I'm not denying the existence at all. Not denying any of this. I'm saying all this shit's new to me. This fort, generally, right here, this one, boom. The rest, I could see why they exist. I could see why, but not Governor's Island, definitely. It just does not match Manhattan. It doesn't match the scene for me. Look at these, Ellis Island. I know I'm zooming in and out, guys. I'm just really excited. Here, boom. Look how giant that is. Like, you could see it from way up here. Let me get rid of that. Look at that. Unbelievable. Anyway, guys, I'm just going to keep repeating myself. I don't want to do that. The video is 20 minutes long. I didn't mean to do that. I wanted it 15, but just wanted to show you guys a lot. You know, look at this. Incredible. Incredible. So they're going to build buildings here, probably houses and apartments. Got to make money, right? Look at this. Here, let's drop down here before I disconnect so that way you can see. You can feel the colonial times. I'm telling you, it's just weird looking at these buildings. Totally has like Civil War written all over this. That type of style, you know what I mean? That type of era. It's been there ever since. George Washington was walking through here. He probably stood right here, you know, all those, you know, all those leaders, war leaders, man. A lot of history here. Telling you, everyone that's tried to conquer America or the Eastern Coast stood right here, man. That's a lot of history. I know I'm zooming around, guys, but download Google Earth. You could check this out for yourself, man. It's amazing. Go watch a video. It's awesome stuff. All right, guys, that's the video. Governor's Island, Part 5, New York City series, Mandela Effect. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. My last video I put out was on Columbus Circle. It attracted quite some negative energy. Please refrain from being rude. You know, disagree with me all you want, but if you want your comment to stay up, just don't be rude about it. And there's lots of people who disagree, and I leave their comment up because they're cool. But for some reason, this one right here, Columbus Circle, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's part 4 of my New York series, my New York City series. Ruffled some feathers. Even on my Facebook, I got some negative feedback from that, but that's okay, man. I understand, you know, and I send nothing but love right back, you know. So I totally understand, guys. So try and be polite with your comments. If not, that's cool. We'll deal with it. All right. So listen, guys. I got like 2 more New York videos coming out, and they're just gonna keep coming because I just saw something else as I was scanning in and out of this, and wow, this place is changing. All right, so stay tuned for more videos. And just a reminder for everybody, my live stream is tonight, not tomorrow night. So tonight at Wednesday at 10 p.m., not tomorrow night. I am heading to the cottage tomorrow morning. So thank you very much for your patience. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next shift. Don't forget to love yourself. I love you so very much. And most importantly, love your neighbor, because this is what it's all about, all right? And observe. Try and observe more. Do more observing, all right? Okay, I'll catch you on the next shift. Lone Eagle 112258. Peace.